Hello, my name is Fox and you're watching Den of Fools. Let's jump right in. In week 12 of 2024, we had 149 tournaments with a total of 3,197 players and 11,554 games played. We were a little late on the video this week, simply due to the sheer quantity of data collected. This past week, there were several massive tournaments such as the Adepticon and the Manchester Super Major. With so many games recorded, it should give a very good indication of where the meta currently is for competitive 40k. With that said, this week the Space Marines topped the charts with 20 wins and a huge 71 top 3 placings. Their weighted placing is 23.6, which is a bit better than the 27.7 they got last time. They have managed to regain their spot as there has been a lot of tournaments, and they are far more popular than the other factions. The Custodies come next with 17 wins, 40 top 3 placings and a weighted placing of 11.1, the third best overall. This is a decent improvement on the weighted placing of 20.9 they got last time. As usual, most of their results come from the smaller tournaments, but they still have the second most wins at the bigger events. The Necrons are forced back into third, with 11 wins and a weighted placing of 19, which is a fair bit higher than the 11.5 they got last week. They did perform the best at the big tournaments, including taking down the biggest tournament this week, the 263-player Manchester Super Major. The Death Guard come next with 10 wins and a weighted placing of 12.3, which is a good improvement for them. The Eldari get 9 wins and the same weighted placing of 12.3. This is a very big improvement for the Eldar, who had a weighted placing of 55.5 last time. The Tower really come into their own before their new codex arrived, with 9 wins and a weighted placing of 12.7. They managed to win the second largest tournament this week, the 256 Adepticon 40k Championship. They're doing very well at the moment, and I am sure Tower players are hoping this continues once their codex sees play across tournaments. Guard and Grey Knights are the last factions in blue, both getting 8 wins with a weighted placing of 18.3 and 12.9 respectively. We have seen that Guard have some competitive units, although they are the only faction in blue who failed to win a large tournament. The Grey Knights fare much better in that department, with 3 big tournament wins. The Tyranids top the green group with 6 wins and a weighted placing of 24, which is a slight decrease from last time. Sisters come next, also getting 6 wins, but with less top 3s and a better weighted placing of 12. The Legions of Votann get 5 wins and a weighted placing of 14, which is another good week for them. Likewise, Chaos Demons perform well, with 5 wins and a weighted placing of 19.4. All of the remaining factions in green get 4 wins, with the Orcs getting the most top 3s of this group, with 23. This is the most in the green group, but they do also get the highest weighted placing with 25.5. The World Eaters have another good week with 16 top 3s and a weighted placing of 19, with Imperial Knights close behind with 3 less top 3s and a weighted placing of 19.5. The Thousand Sons improved slightly on last time, with 12 top 3s and a weighted placing of 20.5. Chaos Knights are the last faction in green, with 11 top 3s and a weighted placing of 24.8. Some of the best weighted placings this week come from the factions which don't have a huge number of players. Admech get 3 wins with a weighted placing of 10.7, which is the second best overall. The Gene Stealer Cults also get 3 wins, with a marginally better weighted placing of 9.7, which is the best overall. The Drukhari really struggle this week, only managing 2 wins with a weighted placing of 39.9, which is over twice as high as last time. 22 factions managed at least 1 top 10 placing, with the Space Marines getting the most top 10s with 259. The Necrons are in second with 117 top 10 placings, followed by Custodies in third on 111 top 10 placings. This week, Custodies come very close to taking second from the Necrons. Unsurprisingly, the Space Marines are the most played faction with 19.96% of all players taking them. Necrons are the second most popular on 7.91%, followed by Custodies in third on 7.73%. It takes our resident stats guru and Ultramarine fanboy Fearless Fox many hours to collect all the data. It would be great if you could show your appreciation by liking and sharing the video. It really helps us with the God algorithm of YouTube. We have grouped the win rates by colour, with the key at the bottom of the screen. This week the Custodies topped the charts with a win rate of 55.2%, narrowly taking first place this time out. The Necrons are close behind with a win rate of 54.9%, which just puts them in the Goldilocks zone. The Necrons have dropped back a little bit compared to last week, leaving them in second, whereas the Custodies have got their usual win rate. The Thousand Sons come next with a win rate of 53.6%, which is close to what they usually do. Imperial Knights have a very good week with 53%, which is a big improvement on the 48% they got last time. Chaos Demons come next with a win rate of 52.4%. This is now consecutive weeks where they have managed to get a win rate over 50%. The Sisters get a win rate of 51.9%, with Eldari close behind on a win rate of 51.6%. The Sisters drop back a little bit, whereas the Eldari perform slightly better. Grey Knights back up their good week in terms of placings, with a win rate of 51%. The Orcs see an improvement on last time, getting a win rate of 50.6%. The Lees of Votan and Genesi the Cults both dropped back a little bit, but remain in green with win rates of 50.5 and 50% respectively. We have more factions in green this week, with the World Eaters top in the yellow group with a win rate of 48.9%. The Death Guard have a win rate of 48.5%, with Chaos Knights on 48.4%. Tower on a win rate of 47.4%, with Guard on 46.7%. Drukhari are the last faction in the Goldilocks zone, with a win rate of 46.4%. The Space Marines just miss out with a win rate of 44.9%, with the Tyranids getting a win rate of 43.5%. The Admech are still struggling with 41.3%, despite getting the second best weighted placing this week. Chaos Space Marines are unfortunately at the bottom, with a win rate of 40.4%. The Necrons remain at the top of the running total with a win rate of 55.9%. The Custodians are just in the Goldilocks zone, with a win rate of 54.6%. The Thousand Sons remain comfortably in third place, with 53.8%. The Grey Knights run a win rate of 51.7%, with Chaos Demons climbing up the rankings on 51%. Sisters and Imperial Knights have a win rate of 50.9%, with Drukhari and Tower dropping back after a few rough weeks. They both just remain in green with a win rate of 50.3% and 50.2% respectively. The majority of factions are in yellow, with only 3 factions below the Goldilocks zone. Guard have finally managed to climb into the zone with a win rate of 45.1%. They have been on the edge pretty much since the last data slate. We will have a look at the Space Marine chapters shortly, with Admech still struggling on a win rate of 42.8%. Chaos Space Marines are firmly at the bottom, with a win rate of 41.7%. As the chapter ahead only has a few players, this week the Space Wolves top the charts with a win rate of 53.8%. The second most popular chapter, the Black Templars, are the only other one in green, with a win rate of 51.2%. The Blood Angels are the last one in the Goldilocks zone, with a win rate of 46.7%. They have seen a significant drop from their impressive win rate of 57.3% last time out. The most popular chapter, the Dark Angels, have a win rate of 43.5%, which is a lot better than the win rate of 38.3% they got last week. Even though they improved significantly, they are still below the Goldilocks zone, which isn't great for a new codex. The Death Watch get a win rate of 42.1%, with the Salamanders on a win rate of 40.3%. The third most popular chapter, the Ultramarines, just get in yellow, with a win rate of 40.1%. The Iron Hands top the red group with a win rate of 38.1%. The White Scars get a 30% win rate, with the Imperial Fists on 27.1% and the Raven Guard on a 26.5% win rate. The Black Templars remain at the top of the running totals, with a win rate of 50.9%. The Space Wolves come next with a win rate of 48.8%. The Blood Angels have finally managed to get in the Goldilocks zone, with a win rate of 45.3%. The Dark Angels run a win rate of 43.4%, and their 4-week rolling win rate is already a fair bit below the running total, with the first 2 weeks including the new codex. As they are the most popular chapter and have played a large number of games, it is not having a massive impact on the win rate since the data slate as of yet. The Death Watch have a win rate of 43.1%, with the Salamanders close behind on 42.6%. Fearless's favourite blue boys, the Ultramarines, are the last chapter in yellow, with a win rate of 42.1%. The Iron Hands are on 39.1%, with the Imperial Fists on 35.1%, the White Scars on 32.3%, and the Raven Guard on a 29% win rate. As we only have a few known sub-factions in the weekly, we will focus on the win rates since the data slate. The Iron Warriors top the win rates of 46.2%, and are the only warband in the Goldilocks zone. The Word Bearers are on a win rate of 44.8%, with the Emperor's Children on 43.5%. The most popular warband, the Black Legion, are on a win rate of 42.1%. The Alpha Legion are just behind with a win rate of 42%. The Night Lords are the last warband with a decent number of players. They are on a win rate of 38%. The fact that all but one of the warbands are below the Goldilocks zone shows how much Chaos Space Marines are struggling at the moment. If you enjoyed our content, please subscribe, check out one of the videos on screen, and consider using our affiliate links in the description. Thank you for watching.